ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita, and we have been studying Shloka 10 and 11. And today we are supposed to study Shloka number, the verse number 12. Now, before I study, I have to tell you something which is very relevant. The whole of the 5th chapter has 29 verses, and they speak of the same thing. What is that? Karma sannyasa or nishkama karma. That is the main theme. And initially, he developed a theme and closed it very quickly. What was that? A harmony of all religions, which Sri Krishna said so many thousand years ago, and it was left to Sri Ramakrishna to practice it. And having practiced it, reaching the goal with the authority at his command of his own experience, he proclaimed to the world that all roads lead to the same goal. This is the uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna's character, and several thousand years ago, intellectually and rationally, Sri Krishna proved by debate, by intellectual activity, that difference of religion is a way of diversity, but all religions, faiths, beliefs, if practiced according to that methodology, will reach you the same goal. Which Swami Vivekananda, in his own masterly fashion, gave a very simple geometric description. What was that? Let us conceive a circle. A circle consists of a center, a radius, and a circumference. Good. That circumference is divided into 360 parts, known as degrees. Those each and one degree is divided into 60 further equal parts, known as seconds and minutes. And those minutes equally divided into 60 parts is known as seconds. So a circle has 1,296,000 second points, all over the circumference, equidistant. Agreed? Now, from each of those points, if you draw a perpendicular, you will reach the center. You can't go away. But it has to be a perpendicular. What does it mean? According to Sri Ramakrishna's life and Sri Krishna's teachings, what does it mean? It means every faith, every belief, every functional religion has prescribed a code of spiritual discipline. You have no right to toy with it, play with it. You have to follow that. That is the perpendicular of that line. You will reach the goal. And what is the goal? Yatha nadya sannamana samudre astam gachanti namarupe vihaya. What an example. In this landmass of ours, there are thousands and thousands of rivers. They move through various types of land masses. There are various names, and each one of them is defined by the left bank, the right bank, and the bed. And they are individuals. Parramatta River, Lane Cove River, Hawkesbury River, Nepean River. But what happens ultimately? Either they join together, but ultimate goal is they merge into the ocean. And how do they merge? Irretrievably. You can't bring that mass of water back. Oh, this is Parramatta water. Take it back. The rivers have lost their identity, but the essential part of the river is the mass of water as mixed with the mass of water, the ocean. Similarly, each one of us, we have identified ourselves with 4 different concepts. We have a name, we have a form, we have our utilitarian value, and we have our qualities. The more we break down, get rid of these boundaries, the more we are being one with the essence of the cosmos. Sat Swarup, Chit Swarup, Ananda Swarup, Atma. Here in this chapter, Arjuna asks very, very honestly and diligently, Sir, you have, Sri Krishna, you have praised Jnana Yoga, that is Sannyasa Yoga. You have praised Karma Yoga. And you have praised each of them in such a manner that I am unaware to make a distinction between what is better of the two. Could you kindly explain it? And he says, Jat sankhai prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate. Ekam sankham cha yogam cha ya pashyati sa pashyati. He has developed the correctest perspective that all of them, Sankhya, Yoga, Sannyas, Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga is Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Atma Samyama Yoga, management of your personality. All of them lead to the same goal. But Sri Krishna says in the beginning of the 5th chapter, Tayostu karma sannyasat karma yoga vishishyate. Between the two, Arjuna, if you want to have my candid opinion, karma sannyasa, not performed in the correctest possible attitude, is inferior to karma yoga vishishyate. Karma yoga excels over sannyasa yoga without the proper attitude. This is what he has said here. So what is the excellence? And he has also, in a universally acceptable manner, he has also said in the 3rd shloka, Gyasa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati nirdando hi mahabhavo sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Look, Arjuna, know him to be a real sannyasi, true to the word, samyak nyasa sannyasa, total rejection, without any residue left behind, without the possibility of coming back again. Total rejection is samyak nyasa sannyasa. So who is a sannyasi? What has he rejected? Now, in the society, because of all sorts of woolly-headed ideas, I have stopped taking non-vegetarian food. I have done this, I have done this, I have rejected this, I have rejected this. But the basic rejection, we have no idea about it. The basic rejection is attachment. That is the basic element of rejection. Gyasa nitya sannyasi, know him to be a sannyasi for lifelong standing. Who is a sannyasi? Not only one who wears this or has a shaven head, talks tall, takes people for a ride. He is not a sannyasi. Who is a sannyasi? Who has educated in a disciplined manner to such an extent he is not attached to any expectation from this world. He is neither attached nor he is averse to. Attachment and aversion. Raga is attachment, dvesha is aversion. That person, by disciplining himself, modulating his perspective of life, he lives in this world. He performs his duties of life. But he has disciplined himself in such a manner, he is not attached. not a victim of liking, neither a victim of disliking. Absolutely inert, neutral. He is a real sannyasi. But then, how can I be that? So he says, Karma Yoga Vishishyate. Now come to my point, Sri Krishna says. Karma Yoga is better of the two. What is Karma Yoga, dear? I've endlessly explained to you all the time. I've never missed an opportunity to be boring, to be monotonous, to be repetitive. But I have paid an enormous attention to the description of the concept of Karma Yoga. Why? Because that is the discipline, the spiritual discipline fit for this age. That is why he was born. To establish to you, you can live in this world without getting messed up. Like a swan, you live in water, but not a single feather is wet. You can also educate yourself to live in this world like a swan. Or, as he says in one of the shlokas here, Padmapatra iva ambasa. Water on a lotus leaf. You play with that water on a lotus leaf. When you pour it out, the leaf is as dry as ever. The quality of water is to wet things, but it cannot wet a lotus leaf. Quality of life here is we get involved. The spiritual discipline teaches you, you live in this life, you perform your duties of life, but you are not involved. So Arjuna asked Sri Krishna, Sir, where do I go from here? The 12th shloka is an answer to our question. Arjuna represents us. He speaks on our behalf. And there's another explanation from the scriptures. Who is the best teacher? Have you ever thought of it? There are so many teachers. Who is the best teacher? The best teacher is he who, while explaining an idea, understands what is going through the student's mind and what will be his next logical question. And he is prepared for that. Before the student asks, he replies. That is the excellence of the best type of teaching. Arjuna, Sri Krishna is a teacher. He has understood that as long as we are alive, life and activity are synonymous. So I have to act. And what is propelling me to act? My sense of duty, my sense of hobby, and my sense of ambition. And our scriptures has classified them into 3 cardinal desires. Putraishana, Vittaishana, Ishana means desire, and Yashaishana. Yashaishana is to be appreciated, admired, approbated, adored, on the verge of worship. I want that. A cardinal desire, I should be understood and appreciated by the world. The other one, Vittvaishana. I must have wealth, power and wealth. All that goes with the wealth. I must be at the top. And the third is the desire to leave a progeny behind so that I am not forgotten. I'll be remembered as a great-grandfather. 4 generations, they'll remember me. These are the 3 cardinal desires, and we are all, openly or not openly, we are victim of these desires. Let me put it from the common sense point of view. Sense of duty is a motivator. Sense of hobby is a motivator. Sense of enjoyment is a motivator, whatever it may be. I am involved. So whether you are a karma bhogi, suffering because of your karma, or you are karma yogi, free yourself from this bondage, karma is a must as long as you are alive. You can't run away from it. And as I tell you, activity and life are obverse and reverse of the same coin. When are you declared dead? When a medical professional comes and tests you, your brain is not active. Your lungs are not active. Your heart is not active. You do not respond to any stimulation. You are declared clinically dead. If there's any activity, life is still there. The life and activity are synonymous. You can't separate them. So act you must. Sri Krishna here teaches you how to act in this world so that you slowly and slowly continue the process of evolution. A human being is the most evolved specimen of a biological creature. We are biological creatures, but we are the most evolved biological creature. Why? We have some faculties which is not given to anybody else. The scriptures say, for heaven's sake, don't sleep over it. Make use of your faculties and reach the goal. How commonsensical it is. I am proud, I am rational. I am proud, I am emotional. I am proud, I have my qualities. I am proud, I have an unshakable willpower. Good enough, you are proud of them. What are you doing with them? Have you ever thought of it? You are using them to continue your misery. What is that misery? Don't think I'm talking something out of the world. What is the misery? I want this, and it slips me. The world doesn't move according to my wants. The world has its own way of moving. I want this, and I don't get it. I'm a sad, depressed person. And I don't stop there. I start blaming the whole world for it. The ball starts rolling. There's no end to it. And I live in it. And that is why Swamiji had said this prophetic words. I am tired of this unending farce. This is an unending farce. This dream does please no more. This ever-running, never-reaching, nor even a distant glimpse of shore. This is the life that we are living. Now, with all this introduction, let us get into the 12th shloka, the 12th verse, which we are supposed to start on today. What does he say? Yukta karma phalam tvakta. First quarter of the shloka. Shantim apnoti naishtikam. The second quarter. Ayukta kamakarena. Third quarter. Phale sakta nibaddhate. The last quarter. Let us take it quarter-wise, word-to-word translation, then we'll get into the philosophical part of it. What does he say? Yukta karma phalam tvakta. Ayukta purusha. Who is a yukta purusha? A karma yogi. Karma yoga yukta is a yukta purusha. A person who has made karma yogi the goal of life, the soul of life, the sonam bonum of their life. And what is karma yoga? Excuse me repeating again. Converting the meaning of the word work into worship. Work and worship. In work, you're physically involved, you're emotionally involved, you're rationally involved, you're egoistically involved. I am talking. I am egoistically involved, I am rationally, emotionally, physically involved. So, I am active, I am working. Now, we are here, which is called a shrine, where few pictures are here. But as soon as I entered, my behavior pattern changes. I fold my hands and bow. Physical activity. What is the emotional activity? I want to express my respect, my reverence, my love to God. Where is He? It's a canvas on which some colors are painted. It's a portrait. Rationally, this signifies that the divine who was born in this form. I'm rationally interpreting a material portrait into a symbol symbolizing the divine who was born in this shape and form and name. I'm rationally active, I'm physically active, I'm emotionally active, I am involved, but I have added an additional dimension. What is that? Awareness of presence of the divine. The divine is here and I am praying. In my professional life, poor divine has no space. My ego is full. Converting the concept of work into worship is convert your flow of life into a constant awareness of presence of God. You may forget, with your willpower you remember. It's a tug of war between forgetting and remembering. The more you make an effort, more you remember, the forgetting quotient reduces, remembering quotient increases. And a time comes when your whole being is saturated with the awareness of presence of God. The body, the mind, the intellect, the five forces of life, they all work, but you are hooked there, or you're anchored there. You are anchored there, or you have hooked yourself up there. Let the body, mind, rationality, and my energy do whatever it likes. I am with my God. Yukta karma phalam tvakta. To what extent? I am converting my flow of life into an endless worship. And what does it mean? Emotional proximity, awareness of the divine in my life. Yukta. I want nothing of this world. I want my God. Mind you, you want God. Don't expect God to be pleased with you. That's an expectation. Let Him do whatever He wants to do with me. Tatra Ishvara api me tushatu iti sangam tvakta. That is how Acharya Shankara puts it while he is propounding this concept of Karma Yoga. I am totally devoted to God, but the habit of expectation will continue to work with me, and I'll say, oh, God will be pleased with me. My Holy Mother will be pleased with me. That is also an attachment, a swatvik attachment. Nonetheless, whether the chain is made of iron or the chain is made of gold, it binds. So please be very careful. Not even from God, only I want to love you. That's my expectation. And I will work hard for it. I don't want anything else. I will work hard for it, and that's all I want. Please help me. That much is allowed. You know, Sri Ramakrishna asked, how do you allow this? How do you? It is also an expectation and desire. He said, you all know bitter gourd. Though bitter gourd is bitter, but it is very healthy. So to tell God, oh God, be compassionate on me. I am unworthy, I am not equal to the job. Please help me out. Though it is a pleasure, desire, but you are desiring from God directly. And what are you desiring? Moksha and mukti, not worldly favors. Yukta karma phalam tvaktva. What happens to him? Naishtikim shantim apnoti. Apnoti means it is not something which is not available. He creates and he acquires. No, it is your true original nature. What you know as I am is nothing else but God is. I, like a stupid ass, under the influence of Maya, I've separated myself and I say, I am, you are, the world is, God is. The question of separatedness. Asmat yusmat pratyaya gochara. I and you. It's a fact of life. And this is a force of ignorance. Wherever there is ignorance, there's a void of knowledge. Void space. And all sorts of woolly-headed ideas enter into that void and makes me think I am separate from you. Absolutely stupid, idiotic. Nothing could be more unreal than this statement. Yukta shanti naishtikim shantim apnoti. Apnoti means he bees and becomes. Being and becoming is an English idiom. What does it mean? An evolutionary process where slowly and slowly your whole personality is being saturated. Apnoti, adhigamyate, all these words means that slowly and slowly you are saturating your personality with the constant awareness of presence of God. You're cutting at the root of that concept of separateness. Naishtikim. Naishtikim means a well-laid passage. You are on a track. When a rail runs, a train runs, it runs on a laid track. Naishtik means there's a laid track psychologically. What is that? Today, I am full of ego and I am full of desire of the things of the world. Let us have the moral courage to admit that, what we are today. The Gita teaches you how can you make yourself a better specimen of a human being. Don't talk about moksha and mukti. It's a hackneyed word. We repeat like a parrot, we don't know what it means psychologically. So, let us be commonsensical. Qualitative improvement of human personality. Betterment of human personality, which fits in with the law of evolution. And we have evolved from an ordinary biological creature to the most or the best specimen of a biological. The evolution must not stop. Naishtikim Shanti means there's a process of evolution. A well-laid track, a rail. What is that? I start to be a karma yogi because rationally I am convinced that that is the way, while living in this world, I can go out of it. Going out of it means I don't fly out like a rocket. I live in this world, but the world cannot change me. I am what I am. That's it. You start. As because it's a new education. Remember in your school days, you are asked to recite over and over again the 26 alphabets of English grammar. Recite. And now, you don't need to make any effort. It's always there. Available to you on call. ABCD, effortless. Does it appeal to your common sense? Similarly, the spiritual leaders say, the incarnations say, anchor in yourself. Anchor yourself in repeating the name of the Lord. Whatsoever your faith may be, whatsoever your belief may be, whatsoever religious may be, do it correctly, properly, methodically, excellently, perfectly, with your whole heart and being. Whoever you may be, I am not bothered. Vedanta just does not bother. It bothers about man-making, character-building education. Education is spiritual education. So I start. My habit is that way. I am already saturated with the world. I have to desaturate myself. It's not an easy task. I gave you an example. Let me repeat that example again. Here's a bowl full of things. A scrap of steel, a scrap of timber, a scrap of stone, and so on and so forth. Dirt and muck is full of bowl. I tell you, young man, you're a scientist, you're a student of science. I want this bowl to be filled up with something which is not adulterated, and you will not touch it. Think of something to fill it up with something which is absolutely pure. A steel is a heavy material with a high specific gravity. You are a science student. Oh, I remember, mercury is the heaviest metal or mineral, whatever you call it. You go and find out of mercury. And then you start pouring mercury into that bowl. Being the heaviest, it goes and sits at the bottom of the bowl. Takes some space. Where does the space come from? It pushes things around. And the plane surface becomes a convex surface. You keep on pouring mercury. and that convex surface breaks, things start falling out. You have not touched it. You have made use of your brains. You have made use of your education, hearing and learning, and ultimately the bowl is full with mercury with a convex shape. Pure material has filled up the bowl. You have not touched it. Your assignment is done. Keep this in mind. In Karma Yoga, work, the concept of work has to be converted into worship. How? Anchor yourself in the awareness of the presence of the divine within you. That is why japa and dhyana and dharana comes into play. Japa, dharana, dhyana. These are specific words. Naishtikim. This is the route that you will follow. Slowly and slowly, you gather momentum. And the tug of war between remembering and forgetting gets interesting. You remember, you forget, and you remember you have forgotten. You again remember. That is the tug of war. And a time comes when the remembrance is so strong, it erodes forgetfulness. It becomes spontaneous, as ABCD recitation is spontaneous with you. How did it happen? Repetitive efforts. So in one short sentence, in one line of the verse, Sri Krishna explains to you, today we are men of this world, full of desires and aversions. Come, I will show you how to come out of it and be one with God. Put yourself on rails. What is that? To be aware of presence of God every moment of your life. That God may be whosoever you like. Vedantis don't bother. They know we are all children of the divine. Amritasya putra. We are the children of immortal bliss. Man is made in the image of God. That's what a religion says. So, dear, yukta karma phalam tvakta shantim apnoti naikshigim. Shantim apnoti. He doesn't use the word moksha or mukti. He says shantim. Whether we are aware or not, we always want to be at peace with ourselves. You get that unbreakable peace. No disturbance of the world will be able to disturb you. The worst of calamity, the best of success, nothing can be able to disturb you. What to disturb you will not be able to touch you. What to speak of touching you will not be able to reach you. You are much above that. Yukta sarva karma yukta karma phalam tvakta shantim apnoti naishtik. In one sentence, He has taken you from where you are today to where you should be in this life. Don't postpone it with a post-dated check. Do it here and now. And to make it very, very convincing, how do we convince each other? By contrasting. As for instance, darkness and light, heat and cold. They are contrasting. Yukta and ajukta. A karma yogi and a non-karma yogi. He contrasts the two. A karma yogi, if he continues to do that, he is on rails, and he will slowly evolve into one with the divine. The purpose of religion is to manifest that potential divinity which is my true original nature. Each soul is potentially divine. Purpose of religion is to manifest that divinity already within ourselves. That is what Swamiji said. I quote him. Ajukta, a person who refuses to do so. Ajukta kama karena phale swakta nibaddhate. And a person who refuses to do so, he continues to live in this world with his expectations of liking and disliking, attachment and aversion. And he keeps on rolling around like a piece of stone gathering moss. That's what happens. The second line is a contrast with the first line. I need not go into details. It's clearly visible to you now. Let me read it once again. Yuktaha karmaphalam tvakta shantim apnoti naishtikim ajuktaha kamakarena phale saktva nibaddhate. He remains bound down. And he says shanti apnoti. Now moksha and mukti are the two very common words in Sanskrit language. Liberation, realization, freedom is also available in English language. Vedanta has a universal description of that position. Please don't think that I study Vedanta, I'm a student of Vedanta, that's why I'm beating its drums. Please don't misunderstand me. You cannot but be convinced about the rationality of this philosophy. Shanti has been described in our scriptures, Vedanta scriptures. He says, Atyantika dukkha nibritti paravasukha prapti. What is moksha? Please be practical. Talk in psychological terms so that I can understand. Atyantika dukkhasya nibritti. Dukkha, sadness, misery, annoyance, disgust, anger, all emanates from that. Aversion. Dukkhasya Atyantik nivritti. A total abnegation of the concept of sadness and misery. Could you imagine, dear? The concept is not there. I come and tell you, मैं दुखी हूँ, I am very miserable, I am sad. You will say, what language you are speaking? This I, who was a victim of dukkha before, now the concept of dukkha has disappeared. In that place, what takes place then? Karuna. Having achieved that joy, that shanti, and seeing others suffering, he extends his hand to help. Atyanti dukkhasya nivritti parama sukha prapti. And he is saturated, super saturated by eternal, unshakable peace. That is what moksha and mukti is. So, dears, we have now studied the 12th verse of the 15th chapter. This idea of sannyasa, rejection of the attachment and aversion of this world. Things of this world is sannyasa, and the remaining 17 shlokas will continue in the same way with different perspectives. That is, 29 different perspectives were laid before you. It's for you to choose any one that appeals to you. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you ever so much.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.